Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And man, this is a blast from the past. I used to read EGM all the time, and I saw this ad all the freaking time. And we're going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog because it reminds me of this advertisement. Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Sonic does what Birds of Prey didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, those are fighting words, and that's coming from Comic Book Resources. Bunch of haters over there.
Yeah, how dare they? No, and they're probably going to say the same things we've been saying, which was the marketing was bad, it was rated R, and a couple other things that we've all been saying, but somehow we're bad for saying it, but they're completely good.
They are, because they're Comic Book Resources, the trusted media.
Mm-hmm. We're just haters.
We're just a bunch of freaking YouTube haters.
That's right.
So we're going to get into the video. We're going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog here versus Birds of Prey, or basically the ball being dropped with the marketing, I think, is the biggest problem. All right, guys, we are almost at 100,000 subs. We're only 5,000 away.
Yay.
So hopefully we can do that here in another couple of weeks. Thank you for that. Thank you for the support. Comic Book Resources. Sonic is winning the box office for the same reasons Birds of Prey didn't.
Mm-hmm. Basically what we've been saying.
Yeah, so despite positive reviews, Birds of Prey disappointed. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. You can't say that.
John Wick 2 didn't do that good either.
March of the Penguins didn't do that good. You can't say that. We're like apples and oranges here. It was supposed to make twice that, and it didn't.
The kicker is normally it wouldn't even matter what it made compared to Sonic because they're not normally compared. But the media started this whole thing, and now it's coming back to bite them in the butt.
Yep. While not a box office bomb, we have to get that disclaimer in there so Resetera doesn't come to Comic Book Resources and start leaving nasty comments. Birds of Prey is barely expected to break even. Barely expected to break even. Meanwhile, against all odds, Sonic the Hedgehog narrowly beat Detective Pikachu's record for the biggest opening weekend for a video game movie. The underlying reasons explaining Sonic the Hedgehog's success at the box office are, coincidentally, the three most important factors that explain Birds of Prey's failure.
And they're all the same things we've said.
Name recognition, mainstream appeal, and marketing.
It's exactly what we said. And they also go on, I read this article earlier, and they even mentioned about the rated R to being PG and all that. It's everything we've all been saying. And somehow, people who have crap in their ears and can't listen seem to think that by us pointing out the obvious, which now all the other media outlets are pointing out as well, that somehow that means we are dissing Birds of Prey. We have said repeatedly that we haven't seen Birds of Prey, that a lot of people did and said that it was good.
Yeah,
we honestly didn't see it. I'm not going to because it's not my kind of movie. I wouldn't have saw it no matter what. So it didn't matter. But we've been saying this entire time that one, this competition is a bunch of crap and is drummed up by the media. And two, everything that they're mentioning is everything we've been saying.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's like YouTubers actually sometimes know what they're talking about. Imagine that.
Time.
So Birds of Prey said lack of play at the box office could be caused by the film's title because people didn't realize that Birds of Prey was actually a Harley Quinn movie, but it wasn't a Birds of Prey movie either because they changed them so much from the comic books.
Right.
But they changed the title. Again, this is completely unprecedented for a movie of this caliber to have the title changed while it's still in the theater.
Nuh-uh. The other movies did it when they were on DVD.
Yeah, and it was a last-ditch effort to try to remind people that Harley Quinn was in this movie, but didn't work. And you waited until after a disastrous opening weekend.
It was confusing.
In contrast, Sonic the Hedgehog is a well-known name. Everybody knows Sonic the Hedgehog.
He had a Macy's balloon.
He did, and he actually looks like himself now.
Yeah.
So it said the film, based on an enormously popular gaming series that has spanned decades, and the title makes it obvious that it's about Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog has far more mainstream appeal than Birds of Prey.
That is true. I'm sorry, you can scream and cry all you want, but that is completely true.
Yeah, Harley Quinn, well, here, they point this out. Birds of Prey's R rating ended up hurting the film.
That's what we've been saying.
Many young Harley Quinn fans couldn't see the movie.
Including our daughter.
Wanted to see it. She loves Harley Quinn. Couldn't take her to an R-rated movie. She's 12 years old.
No, but we're just haters.
We're just a bunch of haters. Had the movie been PG-13, I happily would have taken her to the movie. I'm sorry, sweetie, I couldn't take you. When you get older, I guess you can watch it on Vudu or something. Yeah. I don't know. On the other hand, Sonic the Hedgehog is a by-the-numbers family adventure film. It's PG. etc. Finally, this is what we've been talking about. Finally, Sonic the Hedgehog's excellent marketing and Birds of Prey's underwhelming marketing helped determine the eventual box office fates of both movies.
Exactly, because the marketing was crap on this. We saw the same thing with Dark Fate. We saw the same thing with Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels, people were like, wait, that's out? I didn't even know they were making a Charlie's Angels movie. And a lot of people said the same with this. They didn't even see commercials or anything for it.
I didn't know it was coming out. I thought it was coming out like in the fall or
something. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking and why they didn't think that they needed to promote this film. I don't understand that. I can't wrap my head around that one at all.
Because I'm like, even if they had just called it Harley Quinn right out of the gate, people would have gone, because, oh, Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. That's that Joker girl from the cosplay thing, right?
Yeah, the cosplay thing.
That's what Harley Quinn is. Yeah, people would have probably, I mean, you probably could have added an extra $10 to $20 million to the box office had it been called Harley Quinn, just the brand recognition. I mean, they dropped the ball on the marketing. It cannot be understated. How badly they effed up on this.
They really did.
But maybe Warner Brothers, Warner Media is cutting people all over. Maybe they cut the entire marketing department.
I was wondering, maybe this is because they keep cutting corners on everything. So maybe this is a matter of them cutting where they shouldn't have cut. I wondered that as well, actually.
Whereas Sonic the Hedgehog's big opening weekend indicates the beginning of a new family adventure franchise, Birds of Prey's disappointing box office results means the sequel is far from likely. She's going to be in the next Suicide Squad movie, I think.
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention.
Unless it's going to be a complete reboot. I have no idea. Though Birds of Prey is far from a bad movie, a combination of poor choices and inherent disadvantages kept it from taking flight.
Right. Notice how it doesn't say in there because misogynists, racist men. Because most of the biggest part of the audience that went to see the movie were men.
Yeah. I mean, 54% of the audience, male. And all of our friends that went to go see it that said it was pretty good were men. Mm-hmm. Come to think of it, they were all men. They're like, it actually is pretty good. You should go see it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go see it, but thanks for that, because I'm not,
it's just not my kind of thing. I mean, I don't care how good it was. This is some movie I'd watch.
So it's interesting. They talk about Jeff Fowler and the unexpected blessing, I guess, of the fandom being on your side.
Imagine that.
So now, have we reached a tipping point? Because we have these news outlets like Comic Book Resources, that used to constantly throw shade at fans, and this one, Cinema Blend, used to throw shade at fans. Now they're like, wow, the fandom was on Sonic's side, and yay, fandom, go fandom.
Mm-hmm. Imagine that. Imagine what you can do with fandoms when you don't insult them and say that half of them, are misogynistic, whatever, because they don't agree with you on something.
Look at that. Look what can happen, studios, publishers, game developers, if you actually try to treat your fans with a little respect.
And the movie was a very diverse movie. There's a diversity in that movie. There was a lot of, there was a lot of it in there. And you know what? And everybody loved it because it was there. And in real life, you just accept it. And it was about good characters and telling a good story and being funny and being, relatable. And it went for story first, character first. And it did well.
It did well. Look at that. So we're talking about Jeff Fowler and how he's thanking fans. And he is. If you go out to his Twitter, he has spent the last 4 or 5 days just completely over the moon. Because I don't think they expected this movie to do well at all. The early projections for it on the original, based on the original design, were somewhere around $15 to $20 million. And then they're like, oh, well, this movie might make up to $40 million. And that was up to $50 million. And it was tracking higher and higher. And once the word of mouth got out there that the movie was actually pretty decent, it just exploded. And a lot of people went to go see it, like us, not expecting it to be a great movie, but we wanted to do it to support Paramount for making the right decision in changing Sonic the Hedgehog to make him look like himself.
And listening to the fans without being disrespectful to the fans. I mean, you can't, sometimes fans are dicks. I'm not going to lie. I know that happens. Sometimes there are fans that are complete dicks, but that usually is a small percentage of people, and it doesn't represent everyone. And you're allowed to not like something, disagree with something, and it doesn't make you a troll or a misogynist or anything like that. And there was a lot of people who didn't like this design. And they treated fans in a very respectful way. And they're like, okay, we hear you. We'll fix it. We were with you. We want it to be the best it can be. That's all you're asking for, is for it to be the best it can be. We're in the same, we're in the same mind that you are. So we're going to go fix it. Imagine that. We didn't just double down on shit and tell you had to eat it because we said so. And it worked. Hot damn, who would have guessed that?
Yeah, I think, I was thinking about doing an article at some point that Sonic does what Lucasfilm don't. Mm-hmm. And, Sonic is a complete 180. How that was handled is a complete 180 from how Disney has handled Star Wars and the fandom and listening to the fans. And, we've seen, Star Wars decline, but we're seeing Sonic rise, unexpectedly, because most of his games have sucked for the last 10 or 20 years.
Speaking of games,
yes,
I was going to tell people that because Toy Fair is this weekend. That I just did a story on this. Hasbro is bringing back Tiger Electronics LCD handheld games, including Sonic 3.
Yeah, these were, fun-ish, for their time.
Well, they're what they are because they were cheap because people couldn't afford Game Boys. But
I was gonna say this is for the kids that couldn't afford the Game Boys.
Pretty
they
much.
Got the Tiger.
But they're gonna have the Transformers Generation 2, Disney's Little Mermaid, X-Men, Project X, and Sonic 3 out, and they're gonna be in the fall, and they're only like $15.
This is a very 90s. Very 90s.
Now it's 90s, guys. Now we get to watch all the 90s properties get destroyed now.
Yeah, so I can totally... Because I remember seeing these. I actually had it wasn't Tiger, but I had the Super Mario Brothers 3 Game & Watch. You remember that? It was an actual watch. It had Super Mario Brothers 3 built into it. And I got it because I couldn't find a copy of Super Mario Brothers 3 anywhere, but I had my lawn mowing money, and I wanted to buy Super Mario 3, so I got the stupid Game & Watch, and it wasn't nearly as good as, like, actual Mario
Did you eventually get Mario 3?
I eventually did track down Mario 3, and it was like $70.
See, my parents, I don't remember. Mario 3, I know they got too, but I know Mario 2 is one that they were all over the dang countryside looking for. I
got Mario 2 by accident. It was so weird because I remember, back in the 80s, I remember I didn't even ask for Mario 2 for Christmas because I didn't think I had any chance of getting it. So I asked for like all these other oddball games, and I wound up getting Mario 2 without asking for it because I think my grandmother just happened to see it at Sears, and they just got it in, and she's like, I didn't think you had this one. Did you have this one? And I'm like, no, I know you didn't ask for it, but I know you like that Mario. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't ask for it because I didn't think you'd be able to get it. So that's how I got Mario 2.
My brother wanted it so bad. My parents, they went all over the countryside. They were like 2 hours here, 3 hours there. They did get a copy of it. But I remember my mom was going back to college, and we dropped her off at school, and then Dad took us, and we had to wait in the car because he didn't want us to know what he was doing. But he went in, and we were driving to every Toys R Us, every Sears, every place he could think of that might have it, and he did find it eventually. Yeah,
I remember, the great Nintendo chip shortage that
chip
they
shortage,
had back then. But these, I remember them in the toy stores. They were about $20, I want to say.
Well, they're going to be $15. They're going to have updated gameplay. I think one of the reasons they mentioned in Gizmodo that they're probably doing it is because, I saw an article there too, is because they said that people can't sell them on the internet and claim they're the originals. So they made some changes to them. But they're pre-order now at GameStop, and they're about $15. I think they're $14.99.
I'm morbidly curious, but I know it would be one of those things I'd play it once and I'd never play it again because these games really weren't that...
Oh, I know they were what they were, but I just think it's cute that they're
played them on the bus.
Now we're gonna go, mine the '90s for stuff now.
Oh yeah, everything's gonna be 90s.
Maybe '80s is safe for now.
I think the '80s is safe for now.
I don't know, they're doing He-Mans and stuff, so who knows?
I don't know, but I think with Sonic being such a big deal, I think we're gonna start strip mining in the '90s now. I mean, he was a very, very '90s character. So, all right, guys, are you ready for your childhood to be? I was gonna say raped, but
well, we already had ours done, so now it's time for other people to have a turn.
It's your turn now. Pretty soon, Squid King's childhood is gonna be penetrated.
I don't even like that term. It makes me cringe every time people say like the first way you said it. It just can we just say I peed something?
I peed.
They're gonna have it. I peed.
They're gonna I peed. They're gonna I peed. They're gonna I peed your childhood. But no, he's already he's a teenager, and he's like, oh my gosh, I got Bakugans. These are the same Bakugans I had when I was little. I'm like, I know, right? It's like they just kept the mold because they knew they were waiting.
But they didn't sell again.
They're not selling. They're on clearance again. So they didn't sell back then. They're not selling now.
Yeah.
But there you go. If you want a Sonic handheld, and check out our gaming channel. We're going to be putting some Sonic the Hedgehog gaming videos up here in the next couple days.
Yeah. So what is the point of this video? Basically that,
listen to the fans.
Listen to the fans. And, the gaming property, of course, is going to be more well known than, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. And the Birds of Prey wasn't exactly a, big title everybody knew about. And also, stop saying people like on YouTube and stuff who are pointing out these things are haters, because now the media is starting to point out the exact same things. It didn't do well because it was really marketed really badly. It was rated R, and it was going to have a limited audience anyway. And then the media turned around and made it a contest that never existed.
Yeah. And I think this is going to end. I think we're seeing a change now in the studios. We're going to start seeing some changes with these media outlets, at least the ones that actually want to stay in business.
Yeah.
Because it's getting pretty tough out there, guys. It's getting pretty tough to run these blogs. It's expensive. So you better get some hits, and you're not going to get hits if you keep attacking people.
That's right.
So I don't know. But we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.